The natural system of organisms living in a particular environment in constant interchange among their living and non-living parts is called ecosystem. An ecosystem consists of all the living and non-living things that interact with one another in a given area. All the living parts of an ecosystem, such as animals, plants, and other organisms, are called biotic factors. The non-living parts of an ecosystem are called abiotic factors. Abiotic factors include soil, water, air, light, temperature, and topography. Thus, when considering an ecosystem, we are considering both the abiotic and biotic factors operating in such a system. For this type of ecosystem, the abiotic factors include the water, the oxygen dissolved in the mud, the amount of light and the amount of nutrients in the mud. The biotic factors, of course, are the community of resident organisms, such as the snail, the tadpoles, plants, and microorganisms in the mud. Plants and animals living in an ecosystem cannot be treated separately from the abiotic or non-living factors in their habitat. Living organisms live in certain habitats because they are able to adapt to the physical factors of the place has to offer. The presence of the snail's eggs in this habitat shows its adaptation to the physical factors of its environment. The biotic environment concerns all kinds of living things which an organism comes in contact with. An organism in any habitat is never an independent unit. Its daily existence is dependent on and influenced by other organisms around it. Every organism in the habitat has an important part to play. The function of an organism, or the role it plays in the habitat, is known as ecological niche. Ecological niche is a precise description of the exact way in which an organism fits into its environment. In simple terms, an organism's niche must refer to where it lives and what it does there. Various organisms obtain their energy in the ecosystem. This interaction can be used to classify them as producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers are mainly green plants that manufacture their own food. They are the only organisms that can convert radiant energy from the sun into chemical energy and store it in their food molecules during photosynthesis. Producers affect the lives of other organisms because they are at the beginning of the food chain. They provide food substances, energy, and oxygen for the other organisms in the food chain. Organisms that cannot make their own food and depend on the producers for food and energy are called consumers. Consumers obtain their energy directly or indirectly from producers. There are different kinds of consumers. Animals, including humans, are consumers. Plant eaters that feed directly on plants, such as hamsters, are known as herbivores. Animals, such as cheetahs, that eat other animals are known as carnivores. Organisms that eat both plants and animals are said to be omnivores. Humans, together with bears and ants, are omnivorous organisms. Consumers that feed on the bodies of dead animals are known as scavengers. Vultures belong to this group. After living things die, organisms such as fungi and bacteria use its dead matter for food. These organisms, known as decomposers, break down dead organisms into simpler substances to enable the materials locked up in them to be returned to the physical environment and be used again by green plants. All things in an ecosystem are connected with one another. Any change in one living or non-living parts of an ecosystem can cause changes in other parts. As the highest form of organisms, humans obtain the biggest role in taking care of the ecosystem.
Yeah, 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 oh, yeah, 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 oh, yeah, 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 oh, yeah, 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 oh. Tayo nasa kumbal at doon ay mamasyal. Kalikasang kay ganda sa kumbal makikita. Doon sa Marabusan, masisilayan nyo pinakamalaking bulaklak sa buong mundo. Raffles Shamira ang pangalan niya, tumutubo malapit sa malamig na sapa. Sa lungsod ng Laak, yung iba'y naglipana sa mga baryo. Ito'y nagkokonekta, kaya sa Kombal tayo nang magpunta upang friendly banakon ay yung makita. Tayo na sa Kombal at doon ay mamasyal. Kalikasang kay ganda sa Kombal makikita. Magagandang tanawin sa karagatan, kasali na ang Lunod at Topyat Island. Doon sa Mako, Mabini at Pantukan, mga kaakit-akit na nalampasigan. Akyatin natin, bundok na matatayo, Marabusan nyo bataan, palakasin ang tuhod, malalamig na gubat, falls ang karamihan. Makikita sa Mako, bulkan ang bakal. Tayo na sa Kombal at doon ay mamasyal. Kalikasang kay ganda sa Kombal makikita. Tayo na sa Kombal at doon ay mamasyal. Kalikasang kay ganda sa Kombal makikita. O sadyang kay ganda ng Compostela Valley, iba't iba ang tribo, super happy family. Akyat talon gapang, sumakay ng Skylab sa Monte Vista, kumikis lang pang diwanag. Sikat ang sauna bath sa nabunturan, mainit-init na tubig sa may paliguan. Kumain ng bibingka kapag gutom na tayo, papunta ng Mungkayo na kay Raming Ginto. Tayo na sa Kombal at doon ay mamasyal. Kalikasang kay ganda sa Kombal makikita. Tayo na sa Kombal at doon ay mamasyal. Kalikasang kay ganda sa Kombal makikita. Yeah, 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 oh, 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 yeah, 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 oh. Tayo na sa Kombal, tayo na sa Kombal, tayo na sa Kombal, tayo na sa Kombal, tayo na sa Kombal.